So thank you everybody for joining. Let's start. And yeah, like I already pointed out, these 3 days, yeah, they're very, very dear to me. I put a lot of energy, a lot of time and love into these, the content of the next 3 days, this masterclass. So I really want you to take something away this time and benefit from what I have to share with you. Yeah, because I want you to feel better in yourself, to feel that self-love that you were born with, because we are all born with it. And over the years, it was decreased, diminished, whatever happened. I'm going to give you a few examples later on. We're going to, yeah, I'm going to tell you in a minute what awaits you during the next 3 days. So let's dive right in. I hope you're comfortable and focused. Turn off your phones as well, not only me, but turn off your phones. Take a notepad. Make sure that you make notes. And I hope you all received, I'm sure you did, that you all received my worksheet that I created. And it was just an idea I got in the middle of the night. And I thought, what I always need, I only, share things, obviously, and offer you things that I can relate to, no? Because that things that help me. And like I said, I like to keep things simple and short and beneficial and to the point. So this worksheet that I created for you, I shared it in the mails. I put it on in the group, and yeah, and I hope that you all can print it out or use it at some point, because I have 3 tasks that I give you as well at the end of each masterclass, and 3 exercises that you can use for the rest of your lives, basically. Yeah, they're brilliant. I use them, and they are just fantastic in order to have this awareness as well and to exercise taking control. Okay, now let's dive right in. I'm going to share the screen with you, and there we go. Hi, Daniela. Lovely. So there we go. We're going to share the screen. And I hope you're ready. Got your drink out. I'm going to take a sip. And yeah, like I said, take notes and make a screenshot of, when you're on the laptop or your computer. I'm happy if you take away as much as possible. Now. So here we go. You can still see me. I don't want to disappear on you completely. There we go. Right, all working. Thank you. Thumbs up, hearts. Good. Fantastic. The chat keeps disappearing. Great. Okay, all working. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback, Daniela. Diana. Good. Okay, so here we go. I would love to, first of all, as today, we do have quite a few people attending who only know me from my posts now or the ad that I put out there, and they don't really know me as such, my story, my life story. So I would like to share, first of all, who I am, introduce myself. But what I want you to be aware of, and that's why I'm so adamant that you take a notepad and that you really absorb what I'm offering you here today, because it's very, very valuable for you and your personal growth. Okay, now the ultimate solution, it's what I'm going to offer you, the ultimate solution on how you let go of toxic self-doubts and regain your self-worth so you can achieve your goals. That is the whole purpose here, that you learn to take control of limiting beliefs, that you know how you can unleash your self-worth how you can regain it, okay? So what we will cover during the next 3 days is, after my short introduction, we're going to, I'm going to talk about and introduce the rules of the mind, first of all, and the fundamental basics of the human being, right? So this is just really the bare minimum, the base for all our human beings, all us human beings and all humans. The rules of the mind, how our mind works, and the fundamental basics of the human being, what we need, right? Also, we're going to dive into how and why we create limiting beliefs, because obviously those are the ones, the voices in our heads, those are the things that are holding us back. Otherwise, we would all 7 billion people on this planet, we would all live the best life ever, right? So why don't we, even us, because you're here now and you are dealing with personal growth, you're educating yourself, you're probably reading and following amazing people, and why, even knowing those things, how it works, what to do, why we still can't always live the best life that we want to lead and achieve the goals that we want to achieve, right? So we're going to dive a bit into that, and we're going to have a look at the 3 keys to self-empowerment. Those are, for me, my how can I say, my interpretation, really, the 3 most important things from my experience, my life, for self-empowerment. Yeah, so that's today. This is basically, today is kind of, I'm giving you the basic knowledge and wisdom that you need, and then with some exercises at the end of this of today's masterclass, then the next 2 days will be more diving into the tools and the practicing of how you actually do it and what you can do to overcome limiting beliefs and those negative thoughts. Okay, so today we're also going to have a look at the negative thoughts and do an exercise on that. But the next 2 days will be even more intense where that's concerned. Yeah, so that's what I said already, the aha moments. I want you to have this aha experience, right? Now, here we go. So who am I to think that I can actually, hold a masterclass for 3 days and talk to you about self-worth? Well, I am, my name is Sonia, as you know, and I was born in Cork and in Ireland. I'm half Irish, half German. My dad met my mom years before I was born in Ireland, and when I was born at the age of 3, we came to Germany. My dad is German and my mom is Irish. So I grew up in Germany, however, always with 2 hearts beating, the Irish and the German. The Irish sometimes louder than the German, but I grew up bilingual, so I had, multicultural kind of flair within me already. And after my A levels, I traveled anyway. I always wanted to travel, being Sagittarius, I suppose. That goes with it. So after my A level, I studied French in Cannes, in France, and ever since I was out and about, traveling, studying, and just living my life and curious. So I got married then, I think it was in my early 30s. And my husband and I moved to Thailand. We lived there for 5 years. And yeah, it's that's when my personal growth journey intensified, got more and more. Like I said, I'd been studying languages. However, I always had a very, very big interest in psychology and the human mind. Oh, Grace just joined. Hi, Grace. Thank you so much. Welcome. Share with us where you're tuning in from, because the people don't know you, just in case. Right, now, more to me. I'm just going to keep it short. I don't want to, talk too much about myself, but however, it is important because it made me to who I am today. It made me, to this person who is here today speaking to you, and also, teaching and helping my clients to, to become a better version of themselves and to grow. So I had my 2 daughters when I was living in Thailand, and my relationship kind of broke apart in Thailand. We lived there for 5.5 years, and towards the end, I got more and more discontented in the relationship, right? And having the 2 little girls was very, very difficult for me to make a decision. Will I leave? Should I stay now? And will I overcome this toxic relationship? Can I just be happy in myself and just, carry on doing what I'm doing? But it was impossible. So I left my husband and moved back to Germany because that's where my family was. And Sheila and Roya came with me, and I was left basically alone as a single mom. My ex-husband was still in Thailand at the time. And that's when I really hit rock bottom, to be honest. Looking back, I wasn't aware at the time. At the time, I was just functioning. However, I was financial, because I left without anything. I left the house, everything I left to my husband, and just took the girls and came to Germany. So I started from scratch, basically. And I had nothing. I had no money. I had no work, no income, and realized that I fell into a depression, really. I was functioning. I just barely got out of bed. And that's what's important now for you as well. It's like, somehow I had the awareness something's got to happen. Something has got to change. Yeah, I can't carry on like this, especially as a role model of 2 little toddlers, the girls who were, looking up at me, and I was their role model. So I had to function. And I went to get to a therapy. I did a therapy, and realized, though, it went on for a long time, and I realized it wasn't getting me anywhere specific. I didn't really get to the root cause of things. It went, I went there every week, and he was amazing. Don't misunderstand me. He was spiritual as well, and he was just really a brilliant person, but he didn't help me. He didn't help me step out of this pattern where I was stuck. And it was just constantly focusing on the negative things, and, what was going wrong in my life. And, how are you today? Yeah, I'm not so good. It was just really, really counterproductive in my eyes. And I realized, again, I needed to find something else, something that helps me. And I wanted to find a solution. So because I'm a very solution orientated person, if I see a problem, I want a solution now, preferably. So that's how I discovered hypnosis for myself. And I was, like I said, I was, looking, reading, studying on the side all the interesting things that you find on YouTube, on social media. I think it wasn't that much at the time even, but I read books of Eckhart Tolle, Joe Dispenza, Esther Hicks, and to this day, they are just my absolute heroes, yeah. And they inspired me and formed me so massively. And that's my ambition today, to have an impact on people just like that, just help one person at a time to overcome any insecurities or lack of self-worth, because it's so unnecessary once you realize it. And once you realize where this comes from, you think, no way am I going to give the power to anyone else. Yeah, I have the power within me, and I'm going to take control of it now and be selfish and take care of myself, because that's what it's about, right? But I'm drifting off again because I'm so passionate about it. It's just to finish off my story here, that's when my personal growth journey really, really expanded big time. I've discovered hypnosis for myself. I graduated in RTT, in this rapid transformational therapy. with Marissa Peer in London, and it took off from then on. I realized a shift in myself when I went down to, the core issue and dissolved it, and had this awareness where my insecurities were coming from, what was this all about. And that's when we can do this quantum leap. That's when we can shift higher and higher and higher and take one step at a time. And that's what this masterclass is about for you, not to have the complete enlightenment, of course, great, but I want you to have the tools to take one step at a time, right? And you can use them anytime. So yeah, that's when I also for myself discovered the connection between the degree of self-worth that we carry within us and the success level, or the quality of life. Yes, that's that's right, Grace. Rapid transformational therapy. That's what I graduated in, the mix between hypnosis, NLP, and cognitive psychology. And so that is so important, the degree of self-worth that we carry within us. And it has everything, literally everything, to do with how we live on a daily basis, how we live our daily life, how successful we are, how much money we make, how much happiness we allow into our life, if we're living in a happy partnership or not, whether we put up with certain things that we shouldn't be putting up with. That's all down to our self-worth. And seriously, I see it in my daughters now. Roya is 14 and Sheila is 18. And even there, Roya has her first boyfriend now already quite early, at 14. And even there, her friends, when I hear them talking and putting up with boys, how they treat them, and then I hear my daughter talk how she would never put up with that. And the difference, in this self-worth that's given to us so early in life. Yeah, it starts so early. And to nurture this self-love that we're born with, that's what it's about. So anyway, we're going to go there in a minute and analyze why it's diminished or why it decreases throughout the years. Okay. What else? Yeah, I think I mentioned all this. Here we are. So, ready? That's enough about me. Take a sip of water or tea or whatever you have in front of you. Now, the fundamental basics of the human being. So basically, the way I see it, yeah, it's we have our basic, well, not I see it, this is scientific research, obviously, but the way I analyze it is, the more we manage to analyze ourselves, to understand ourselves, and to grow on our journey and our life, the more chance we have to live and achieve our full potential, right? Because that's at the tip of the pyramid, as you see here. So we have, yes, we have the basic needs of food, water, warmth, and rest, sleep. Yeah, that's what we all need on a daily basis at all times. Excuse me, I don't know whether you have ever been deprived of food or water, warmth, or sleep. But when that happens, it's not funny at all. I have, and I know some of you have, and that's the basic that we need, isn't it? It's just so important that we're provided with that. And when that's there, when that's provided for, then we can go to the next level. Yeah, we also need safety, security, which us in the Western world, I suppose we pretty much have, but still we have this the fight and flight and the danger antennas within us that we had millions of years ago when we were, just primals and watching out for the tigers and the threats from the environment. We still have that inside, and we still respond the same as we did that time to those threats. So yes, we should feel safe. We have no wars going on here apart from now, obviously, what's going on, but there's always like a certain level and degree of threats going on around us from whatever we lived in our childhood, whatever we define as a threat. That's a different story. Yeah, there's a threat. Anything can be a threat if we had bad experience. So, but this is the basic human need, to be safe and to feel secure, right? And we do anything to provide that, or our mind, our body does anything to provide that. Now, we need to belong. Also, as a child, and even I think when, it starts really very, very young years, we want to belong. We want to have have social security as well. We always looking for the crowd, always wanting to belong and adapt. We want to not stand out or isolate ourselves or be different to the crowd, right? And with friends and intimate relationships. So that, and also our esteem needs. There we go. The prestige and accomplishment. That's the next level. We are feeding ourselves with prestige and accomplishment. What have where do we study? Did we study at all? What kind of materialistic surrounding have we got? This is portrays of accomplishment in life. Sorry. So that's the esteem that's being nurtured. And then at the very top, the self-fulfillment and the needs are self-actualization, achieving the full potential. So that's really when everything else is provided for. Whatever we define now as, prestige or accomplishment, that's for you to decide. Also, like the term success, to be successful, what is it? I mean, success for one person means one thing, for the other person means something completely different. But by definition, success is when we have set goals for ourselves and we achieve them, then we succeed. That's a success. Whatever goal that is that you set for yourself, when you reach it, when you achieve that goal, that's success. When you're successful, and that's when you're happy and your dopamine kicks in and you're fulfilled. So that's what we're talking about here on the highest level of fulfillment, is achieving your full potential, right? Now we want to move on to the rules of the mind, because that's very, very powerful, that you're aware of that, aware of the power that you carry within you with your mind, because we're going to elaborate on that later on, and I'm going to show you also in a small tendency how you can actually take control of your mind, right? So the mind learns by repetition. That is very, very powerful for the way we can, reprogram things or change our habits. Thank you, darling. Thanks, Grace. So yeah, that's how we can, by repetition is how we can reprogram our mind. And if perhaps you can relate when you don't want to exercise, right? You don't want to, I mean, I can speak from my own experience. You don't want to exercise. You wake up in the morning, you should, before work or whenever, but you just can't get yourself to do that. But do that, believe me, and we're going to dive deeper into that later on as well. Do that for 21 days. Do something new for 21 days. Or if you want to quit smoking, you want to do without sugar or sweets, if you do that for 21 days, at least, the mind is reprogrammed. If you condition your mind for 21 21 days, and it's repeatedly shown, yeah, whether it's with an audio, for example. That's what I work with my clients, with an audio. If you listen to something repeatedly over and over again, 21 days, that's when the change happens. Or if you do something repeatedly, that's when it becomes the new familiar and natural. So repetition for reprogramming is key, and it's very, very powerful. Of course, the beginning is tricky, but it works. You believe me, it's just so powerful. But it's overcoming that, and we're going to get to that later on. So every thought you think obviously causes a physical reaction and an emotional response. So yeah, you probably know it, but I'm just going to point it out shortly anyway, because it's just so powerful. And already talking about it, I want you to, I'm swallowing already, but I want you to please just close your eyes, or don't close your eyes, whatever you want, but just think of a lemon. You're going into the kitchen, you're taking the slice of lemon, or this quarter of lemon, and you're biting into it, and the juice runs into your mouth. So what is it called in English? I keep forgetting the word. The water comes into your mouth, the sabble, help me there. But the water runs into your mouth the moment you think about a lemon, biting into a lemon. So the mind has that effect. It brings out the physical reaction of the mouth sending water to your mouth. I mean, how powerful is that? Can you imagine how destructive? Yeah, they are sour indeed. And it makes the water run into your mouth. And the physical reaction just by thinking about it, can you imagine how powerful it is and how destructive at the same time it is if you're thinking negative all the time and you're focusing on negative things? It's unreal. It's just so powerful on both sides, right? So savoring, yes. So exactly. So that's just a tiny example of how powerful your mind is. So also a rule of the mind is what is expected tends to be realized. I don't know if I'm sure some of you are into the law of attraction, and it's Esther Hicks is just my absolute hero. I love her to bits, and she saved me on many occasions in the past. And I listen to her whenever I feel low. And so what is expected tends to be realized, and that's what the law of attraction teaches, really. Yeah, what we expect and what we focus on is what we get more of. That's just how it works. So, and in a battle between emotional and logic, emotion always wins. So that underlines again the law of attraction, that it's about the emotional state that you vibrate, that you feel, that you send out there. Yeah, it's not only by having affirmations and standing in front of the mirror in the morning. Of course, it helps to stand in front of the mirror and say, "I'm beautiful. You're absolutely gorgeous, and you're powerful," and whatever. That is brilliant. That is so powerful. However, you need to also feel it and absolutely own it, and really embody it and vibrate it. Yeah, and it's the emotional level of the mind that is what causes the change. Yeah, and we're talking here about positive change. Obviously, it has the opposite effect as well. So if you surround yourself with negative things all the time, it has a negative impact on you and on your future, on your reality. But if you surround yourself with positive people and with positive things and thoughts, it has a positive effect. And the more you vibrate on a higher level and in a positive way, the more you attract it. And we're talking about emotions here, really feeling it, owning it, and feeling those butterflies in your tummy when you're thinking about something good. Yeah. Again, I'm getting lost. I'm just so passionate about this because it's so powerful, and that's exactly what I want to bring across to you. So we're going to dive deeper into that again. tomorrow, I think that is. So your mind always does what it thinks you want it to do. That's also amazingly powerful, because yeah, if you tell, or if you send out signals to your mind based, we're all, this is all based on your childhood and on your past. It does that. Your mind will guarantee and will make sure that you get what you want. Yeah. So that's how it works. Your mind works to move you from pain to pleasure. There we go. It moves you from the unfamiliar to the familiar as well, I would like to say. So from pain to pleasure, the mind is there there to make sure that you don't have to suffer. It's always protecting you. Yeah. It's always moving from pain to pleasure. It's making sure that you're safe. Your mind wants to stay with what is familiar and avoiding what is unfamiliar. I mentioned that just now. So that is a key, and it's so powerful for you as well. So whatever you focus on, you get more of, right? So when we look at the iceberg, I'm sure you've seen that before. Take a sip of water. So what I'd like to make you aware of as well today is that the way you act on a daily basis, is up to 5%. This graph now, I mean, there are little variations, but this graph now says 0.5 to 5% is conscious. So we're acting on a conscious level, right? And 95 to 99.5% is of our actions are on an unconscious level. So can you imagine how much you're doing without even being aware of what you're thinking and what you're doing, and how it's just on autopilot in the background? It's just madness. It's crazy. And that's why it's so important to become aware of what's going on in the background there in unconscious mind, right? Joe Dispenza says that we have 6,000 to 9,000 thoughts a day. Now imagine, and he says that 6,000 to 9,000 thoughts the day, and 95% of those thoughts are the same over and over again. So we're thinking the same thing over and over again on a daily basis. So how is change supposed to happen? I think during this masterclass run up, the run up to the launch, I have this quote that from Einstein that it's sheer insanity to think that things can change. If you're thinking the same thing over and over again and you expect change, that's insanity, right? And that's a fact. That's a fact, because how should anything change if you're thinking the same things, sending out the same signals, the same vibe every day, right? Nothing can change. And then we wonder, why are we feeling stuck? Why are we procrastinating? Why are we where we are? So, okay, so the conscious is what we desire. We use willpower and conscious thoughts, right? Like we say on a conscious level, I want a new bike, I want a new car, I want a new house. But, what are we doing about it? On a unconscious, on autopilot, is often driven by our beliefs, I'm going to say now. And as I put down here, limiting beliefs, because that's often, like I said, the negative side. Of course, we have also positive beliefs, but we're focusing today on the negative beliefs because they are the ones responsible for us being stuck, or feeling stuck, should I say, and procrastinating. So if we carry the belief we created in the past, that's, perhaps we're not good enough, or we don't deserve, or we're driven by our fears, fear of failure, fear of whatever, we can't reach our next goal, because that's what's driving us, that's what's guiding us, that's defining our thoughts, that's defining our emotions subsequently, and our actions. So that's when the loop happens, and the spiral, when it's just going round and round in a circle and we can't break out, can't break that glass ceiling, right? So we need to address the unconscious and resolve what has been created in the past. That is essential. If we don't address that, there won't be any quantum leap. There won't be any shift. Yeah, we can push it away. We can, suppress it. We can press the cork down all the time, but it will want to pop up all the time. Okay, so when we get to allow the receiving or achieving of our goals, that's when we we have been deprived of on a subconscious level. That's when, once we have the awareness of what's been holding us back, and we dissolve it, mostly in hypnosis, that's what happens in hypnosis, then we can thrive, then we can grow, and then we can really take the next quantum leap, right? So the question is now, how and when and why do we create those limiting beliefs? Now, as I pointed out already, it's mostly in the first 7 years between being born and the when we're 7 years old. That's already when we are being formed, should I say, yeah? Of course, afterwards as well, we have experiences that will form us or impact us. But the first 7 years are so powerful and so significant, should I say, because we're in this alpha state. And during alpha state, that's why kids learn languages. Like, my daughter, Sheila, she spoke 4 languages when we were living in Thailand. And it was nothing to her. It meant nothing to her. It was just came natural, because kids are in this alpha state and they're absorbing everything as a sponge. They can learn so much, and they fall and they get up, and they fall and they get up, and they just do it until they manage to do it. Yeah, they ride the bike, they walk, they learn so much in those years. It's just something that as an adult, when we are, have outgrown this alpha state, we cannot even achieve, right? But again, we have the possibility to get ourselves into the alpha state, and that's when the magic happens. That's when you get into this hypnotic, deep relaxation phase where you can reprogram your mind and achieve anything you want, and condition your mind to be different, to think different as well. Okay, so in those first years, that's when your intuition and your insight are so on a high level and increased. That's why you can learn so much, and you're so suggestible. Our kids are or you were so suggestible. We all were. And that's when we absorb everything that we watch around us, and we observe our parents, our mom, our dad, or the lacking of, if there's no father, no mother, and we have a different role model. But whoever is our role model, that's what we take as our reality, our normality. And if this person treats us badly, or if this person scolds us, or if this person is overly protective, that's the impact we receive. Yeah, and that's on a daily basis, repetition. That's how the mind rolls. That's how we're being, suggested that that's our belief, that's our reality. And if this person says, you're not good enough, and you're just stupid, and you can't do this, and you're just, that's your reality. That's what you believe that you are, who you are. Okay, so whether it's positive or negative, again, no. So watching on a repeatedly, on a daily basis, watching those people who we look up to, who are bringing us up, that is the familiar, right? So, and later on in life, that's what we're looking for. That's what our mind brings us to. So being told something over and over again is a brainwash. And like I said, it can be positive and negative. If that's what even today when we praise our children, or when you're a teacher and you praise the children over and over again and you motivate them, that's brainwash is negatively has a negative touch to it, but that's when they outgrow themselves. It can also have be a positive thing. So experiencing a traumatic event or even just a negative experience in the past can result in your subconscious mind to want to protect you. And that's what I pointed out earlier. Your mind is there to protect you, to keep you safe and to keep you away from pain. So if you're being hurt, in childhood, or if you're being isolated, rejected, whatever it is, your mind will create a belief that's there to protect you. So, for example, like I said, you won't feel good enough if your mom is telling you off, your father is telling you off, or if, for example, my mom was overly protective. She always, like when I did something, she wanted to do it for me. Even later on, when I was in my teenage years, she would do things for me and answer for me. And I would think, hey, I'm old enough to answer myself, but that's when you think, I can't, I'm not good enough. I'm not given the power to actually do things by myself, and the others can do it better. So you're in adult age, perhaps reluctant to take responsibilities. Yeah, that can happen, or you don't feel good enough. So can also be just a look. Yeah, just your father just giving you these, this rolly eyes or whatever. That's enough to make a child feel insecure and yeah, self-aware, no, in a negative way. Let me just take a sip. So that's how beliefs are formed. Just see. So that's how beliefs are formed, positive and negatives. But like I said, we're focusing on the negative because they're the ones in the way. And yeah, also around money, for example, money doesn't come easily. Money doesn't grow on trees, or whatever you wanted, perhaps. And your parents or your mother or your father said, no, we can't afford that. So money, or they were fighting over money all the time. That's what happens, Thank you, Zohita. Just want to check out. A lot of my insecurities have stemmed from what my parents have told me as a child. Absolutely. I get goosebumps reading that because it's just over and over again. It's just so, so powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Suchita. So exactly that. It's just, and yeah, it's just unbelievable how much impact that has had on us. Or yeah, had. We're going to get there after, because now it's about leaving the past in the past and moving ahead, right? And moving into the future and being in the present and changing that. So absolutely, yes. So parents had a huge impact on our way of thinking. Now, like I said, I'm not worthy of success. I'm not good enough. Nobody hears me or sees me anyway, and that's how fears arise as well. I don't deserve to be in a happy relationship. If the partner treats you badly, perhaps your father or your mother treated you badly, and you're looking for that in your partner because that's the familiar, that's what you're used to. But obviously, no, we don't want that, do we? We want to be respected. We want to meet our partner on eye level, and so the mind doesn't care what you say to yourself, whether it's good or bad, healthy, unhealthy, true or false, right? It simply acts upon your words, and the mind does what you want it to do. Again, the rule of the mind, regardless whether it's good or bad. So if you're feeding your brain with negative things on an unconscious level, that can be as well, that's what you get. You have to overcome that, right? So what you're telling yourself about you is what your mind acts upon, right? So that can arise fear of failure. It can bring fear of judgment, fear of success. I'm not good enough. I can't do it anyway. You know, you're doubting yourself that you can do it, and then you just hold back. You know, some people, they just, yeah, I'm going to try anyway. You know, the confident, really, like, who don't care about the outcome, they're going to try it anyway and do it and see if they fail or not, but they don't care. But the people who are scared to fail, fear of failure also, or I can't do it, doubting themselves, you know, they're not going to do it, just holding back and avoiding this shame and just avoiding this feeling, this negative feeling. Stay in the comfort zone, right? So also with money, I just, you know, I'm going to touch upon money as well. It's a huge, I mean, I could have a whole day about money in itself, but I'm just going to touch upon it today a little bit. So money is also a belief that we carry within about money. So it's, you know, if you see your parents, like I said, fighting over it all the time, it's just causing trouble. I can't make money from, you know, from others. I can't take money from others. Who am I to, you know, take money from others? I'm a giver. I'm not a taker, right? So, and all those beliefs, they lead to procrastination. They can lead to procrastination. They can lead to stagnation. They can lead to you feeling stuck. They can lead to choosing the same kind of partner over and over again. Do you see a pattern in the type of partner you chose, or you're choosing, or you have chosen? They can lead to you not achieving the next level, not the success or the money that you want to achieve, right? All these things, all those fears and limiting beliefs have an impact on your current situation, right? Now, the good news is, obviously, you can change this, right? Like I pointed out, if you're aware of the power that's within your thought and the power that you have in those thoughts, you can change it as well, and you can transform it to the opposite, to a positive, to a self-confident you, okay? It is possible. And it's about eliminating those limiting beliefs that don't serve you, because obviously they are in the way. Yeah, they're stopping you here, the glass ceiling, from getting to the next level. Now, I have clients who come to me, for example, and, you know, they have an issue. They come to me and they say, well, I've always been this way. You know, I've always been insecure and introvert, and that'll never change. Or I've always procrastinated. I'm a procrastinator. I had one the other day, and she said, I'm a procrastinator. And, you know, it took a while for her to realize, and I told her, procrastination is a habit that you've adapted to. It's not, you don't identify with this. You're not a procrastinator. You have the habit of procrastinating because it served you in the past. It protected you in the past. Yeah. So it's wrong. You are not this person. You are not procrastinator. You're not an introvert. You're not insecure. These are just character traits, or these are just labels that you put upon you or that you've grown into. Okay, so we all have been born highly confident and full of self-worth. Yeah, we've been born, we own the world, right? It was at our feet, and having you know, just lived and being confronted with society, with school, with parents, with siblings, etc., that's what formed us from day one. Yeah, or even beyond that, but we're not going to go there now. So at some point, this was diminished. Our self-worth was started being diminished more and more and more. And those limiting beliefs were nurtured more and more and more. They got stronger and stronger and stronger, building up, right? And like I said, it's just because of protection. The limiting beliefs were created to protect us from harm, to help us, the 3 Ps they're called actually, to help us to prioritize ourselves, or to punish us, if that's what's the familiar part. Yeah, we also punish ourselves sometimes because that's what's familiar to us, right? So basically they are survival techniques, coping skills. They're all coping skills. And so when we get into a dangerous situation in the past or even now, what the body does, or the hormones, is just fight, flight, or freeze, right? That's in us. That's just nature, yeah, in order to protect us. So our limiting beliefs were created so we will survive. It's they're survival techniques. And also they, avoid uncomfortable situations. They keep us away from anything uncomfortable. They keep us in the known, in the familiar situation. So rather than allowing us to put ourselves into danger, yeah, by going into an unfamiliar situation. But imagine the power that you have once, let me say it bluntly, once you don't give a shit of the outcome, once you don't have any fear anymore, once you don't care what others think anymore, once you just go for it, once you put your goal in front of you and you just go for it, yeah, even though it's an unfamiliar situation. So let's dive into that, the most powerful part of it all. From my point of view, from my experience, from the experience of my clients as well who come to me, it's just so powerful that you, first of all, that you're here, also that you're doing what you're doing, that you're opening yourself up for personal growth, that you are on that journey, and that you're eager to grow. That is, I just want to congratulate you on that. It's just so beautiful, because it's not natural. There are people who don't have that drive within them, which is fair enough. And I don't want to judge. I just, everybody, I just want people to be happy. But we are creatures by nature. We're curious, and we do want to grow, and we do want to expand to a certain degree. And so you being here is just beautiful in itself. Okay. Now, let me share with you the 3 keys to self-empowerment, yeah, from my perspective. And let me just take a sip. Before we go there, actually, I would like you to put in the chat, if you don't mind, if you want. If you don't, it's fine by me. But just on a scale, I would like to know, from your self-awareness now, where do you see yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Where do you see your self-worth? How big is your self-worth? Do you say it's a 10? I'm totally happy in myself. I trust in everything I do, everything I am thinking, everything I project to the outside world. I am a 10. I love myself totally, and I'm unshakable. Or are you in a 1, where you think you could do with a bit, with some more self-worth? Or in a 5, you're just average, you're in the middle, kind of happy in yourself and going in through your daily life? Or are you in the first half, really, or in the second half? I would love to know where you are. Lana's, I hope I may call it out, 6. Daniela, 9. Great. I think I'm a 5. Sukhita, overall I'm happy with myself, but when I get rejected, exactly, by a romantic interest, and feel I'm not, I tend to feel I'm not worthy. Exactly. Brilliant. Yeah. 5, 9, 6. Teresa, 5. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's brilliant. Yeah. So Daniela, well done. Brilliant. So that's where you see yourself right now. Okay. And that's so powerful. And I hear you, Sophita, as well, that when you say if something happens on the outside, of course, I mean, I had I don't know whether you listened to my last podcast. I had a really bad day last week, and I was beside myself. And thank you. I was totally out of balance and beside myself, and I was feeling off. I was really feeling off. And I decided to share that with you and put it out on a podcast and even put it out there, because I thought a friend of mine inspired me, actually, because I thought this is only human, but at the same time I felt like a fraud. Who am I here to give a 3-day masterclass, especially at this timing, and then feeling so off and feeling so weak in myself. And my friend said, hey, don't be silly, it's just human. And like Suchita says now as well, I mean, life is like that. Life is a roller coaster, and it's up, we have those ups and downs. And sometimes we feel totally empowered, other days, totally low. But my intention here today, and like I said last week, I had one of those really off days, whether it was now premenopause, hormones, whatever was at play there, I have no idea. But it was what it was. And just this negative cloud and negative thoughts. But I did, like Esther Hicks says, all you can do then is just, either meditate or go to sleep. And that's what I did. I just went to bed. I just went to bed really early and prayed for the next day to be better. And it was. So, it's about, that's what I want to give you, these tools to be able to cope with those days and those moments, or those this negative self-talk in our heads, to take control of them. And that's because at the end of the day, yes, we're all connected, and we're all we have each other. But at the same time, when we go, we're still alone. I find we're still in our thoughts, in our head. We have this this solitude as well inside. Yeah, as much as we can reach out, as much as we're on social media, as much as we have a caring family, children, perhaps pets, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we have, we're with us all the time, every day. And we want to be our best self, right? And we want to be able to take control of our thoughts and to be happy. Really, my ambition and my goal is to be happy as much as possible, and to be in a positive state as much as possible. And Daniela, great, if you're feeling like that, beautiful. I feel for you, and I feel with you. It's just amazing. And I would say I'm also in a 5 at the moment where my self-worth is concerned, and it's a work in progress. It's constantly like up and down, up and down. But what I'm saying today now and for the next 3 days is, or what I'm offering you, or what I want to share with you, is what I use for myself as well, is having the tools to bring us up on a higher level. Yeah, that's what I did last week as well. When I felt off, I managed to, listen to, I did my meditations. I used the tools that I'm teaching and practicing and offering my clients as well. I did that on myself, because sometimes, we might be teaching things, but we're not implementing it on ourselves. So I did that And it worked. It really, really worked. And that was so nice to see that. So like the Dalai Lama says now, for example, as well, when he was asked, do you ever get angry? You know, because obviously he stands for peace and, you know, what everything that's positive. But and his answer was like, of course I get angry. Of course, but I don't carry it with me for days and days and days. I get angry, I accept it, and I let it go. And that's what it's about, letting go of this negative thought, right? So that's what it's about. Self-empowerment, right? Now, here we go. Self-empowerment starts with, in my opinion, and I'm delighted that you shared with me now your awareness on awareness is being able to analyze where we are. Sorry, I just wanted to read here. Daniela did a lot of work already, so I'm nearly there. Fantastic. You know, I believe, yeah, nearly there. It's ongoing. I think until the day we pass, until with the day we go into, you know, the others onto the other side. I think it's a work in progress all the time. Like Esther Hicks says, it's the journey that's so beautiful, and of creating and making this journey beautiful, right? Because when we get there, so you mean now the self-worth, that is something that, yes, that is a goal or a destination that is the ultimate goal. I agree. Thank you. So that's so powerful. I'm so happy to hear that from you. It's brilliant. Absolutely gorgeous. So like I said, the awareness now that you are able to say 5, 6, 3, 2, 9, 10, that's so powerful that you can actually relate, feel into your body, feel into your mind, feel into your physical body and say, that's what I feel, you know? And if you can do that, then you can also go into your mind and be aware of the negative thoughts that are not serving you. All right. So I'm just going to run through this quickly because today we're only focusing on awareness. Tomorrow we're going to deal with setting intention, and then, you know, as setting an intention. After this awareness, you set an intention for the future. And then you take action or reach out for help, whatever it is you need, right? These are the 3 substantial pillars for anyone to grow into a mode of personal growth and change or self-worth, right? So Daniela, you're amazing too, that you're so far in your journey. That is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And yeah, let's become aware of our thoughts, because that's where it all starts. Like I pointed out already, Joe Dispenza, these thoughts that we're thinking on a daily basis are mostly the same. And being able to divert those thoughts into positive thoughts, if they're actually not serving us, if we're thinking the ones that are limiting us, yeah, like I pointed out before, the examples, they hold us back. Believe me, I think 2 years ago, I would have never, ever been able to sit in front of the camera and speak like this. I was too scared of judgment, yeah, because of my childhood. But I have worked on myself so much, and I'm totally in peace. Oh, I see a typo, becoming. Even that I can laugh off. So, you know, I'm in peace with myself. I love myself the way I am, and I don't care what others think. So it's a process that we can grow into, and whatever is holding you back, you can overcome. You can overcome any fear that's holding you back. Yeah, I know Grace goes on lives all the time. She's amazing. She's deals with dancing and music and, you know, everything. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I used to watch her and I thought, oh yeah, she's so cool, she's so brave. Now And it's the most natural thing for me to do. So everything can become familiar. Everything what you want to achieve can be the norm, okay? So becoming aware of your thoughts and eliminating limiting beliefs, right? I pointed this out already, that people come to me to this day and they say, you know, I'm like that and it's not going to change. And so it's your words that your mind acts upon. Yeah. If you think you can or you can't do something, you're right. That's Henry Ford used to said that. If you know, he got Ford cars into the factory, like the manufacturing, that there were so many cars produced in a factory. He was the first one, the pioneer, and everybody around him was against his idea to do that. And he had to raise funds. He didn't have the money, and he believed in his vision of producing many, many cars, yeah, which became the Ford cars. And he said at one point, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. Because it's about that. It's about what you think you can or you can't do. That's what you're right. If you think you can't do something, you're right. If you think you can, you're right. So it's about believing in whatever you want to achieve, okay? Now, how do we erase those automated negative thoughts? The ants, as Dr. Daniel G. Amen calls them, the automated negative thoughts. They are the ones that are constantly beating us up, right? That are there and they're just holding us back. Yeah, they're the ones saying, no, you can't do that. Rather not go there now. Don't show yourself in front of the camera, or don't step up and hold that speech in front of 100 people. You're going to make a fool of yourself. People are going to laugh at you. Perhaps you experienced that in 3rd grade, yeah, that you had to hold a presentation and the kids were all laughing about you, or you're being mobbed, whatever it was in the past. That's the point. It has nothing to do with you now. It does, but it shouldn't, okay? Now, so every time you have a thought, the brain releases chemicals, yeah? That's how your brain works, like I pointed out before. And it's an electrical transmission. It goes across your brain and you become aware of your thoughts. So thoughts are real and they have a real impact on how you feel and how you behave, yeah? On your emotions and on your actions, right? So being aware of your negative thoughts is a huge step to taking control of your life, obviously, okay? So only when you can eliminate the ants, that's when you can really, really take the next level. So because our thoughts create the emotions, yeah, or they trigger the hormones, like with the lemon, like, you know, when you think about that. And the emotions, again, define your actions. They define how you act, what you do, what you decide to do, your decision. Am I going to go there or there? That's based on your emotions and on your thoughts. Now, and that's your life, okay? So if you think of it, your thoughts have a huge impact on your life. Now, your life is the result of your thoughts. To put it in a nutshell, yeah, to do it like comprised. So looking for the familiar rather than the unfamiliar, avoiding the unfamiliar, yeah, staying in your comfort zone again. So how do we control our thoughts? Easier said than done, right? Because if you think of it, if you ever tried to meditate, I'm sure you have, because we're all like-minded people here, you know how difficult it is to quieten your mind, right? It's just really, really challenging to not think, yeah, to go into that zone of emptiness. Now, or to even, yeah, just be aware of your thoughts, because they're so fast, yeah, 9,000 a day, imagine that. Now, we need to make the unfamiliar familiar. Your way out of this loop. So I'm just going to give a quick outline and then we go into the exercise and then we're done for today. We're taking ages. I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay with your time. Now you can let go of negative blueprint right now. The only way to change your limiting beliefs is to change your mindset and your language, the language you speak to yourself, the language that's, taking place in your mind. Hypnosis works, obviously, like when I, work with my clients, they go into the alpha or theta state, and then on the unconscious level, whatever is happened in the past, we go there and it's being resolved. It's being, the awareness is activated of why this belief or this block or this addiction, this habit is there. And that's being dissolved in the past in the hypnosis. Yeah, that's on an unconscious level. We can do that. And it can, we can do a reset and reprogram the mind. However, also you can do it on a conscious level by repetition. No, if you change your habits, if you overcome this block, if you just wake up in the morning. I had a client the other day, she came to me, she said, how can I want to exercise, but I can't make myself do that. And the only way to do that is also what my coach said, just do it, just effing do it, he said, actually. But the thing is, don't even start thinking about it. Wake up in the morning, put on your trainer and run, go out, do your exercise, walk, whatever it is you want to do. Don't let it get into your head. Just do it, right? And then by doing that over and over again, it becomes the familiar and it becomes natural to you. So it's about you. Also, today, I want to point out that it's good to be selfish and it's good to take care of yourself, because that's where it all starts. If you're supposed to take care of your children, your loved ones, your mother, your father, whoever it is you're taking care of, you need to take care of yourself first. And for some reason, I mean, me being half Irish anyway, it's always, I was taught it's good to be modest. You had to say no first when you were offered sweets or anything. No, thank you. Be modest, be modest, be modest. But nobody taught me. I had to learn it myself. Nobody taught me it's good to be selfish, and a healthy balance to actually have this giving and taking in a healthy balance, right? It's that's important, because you have to feel good in yourself. You can only take care. I mean, I couldn't take care of my kids at the time when I was totally out of balance after my divorce. You have to be able to take care of yourself first and treat yourself good and pamper yourself and do good for yourself in order to take care of others, right? Like you do in the airplane, you put on the oxygen mask and then you can take care of others. That's how life works, right? So trust in your journey and remember that you just have to be 2 steps ahead of, if you're like me, a coach or a therapist, just 2 steps ahead of your client or of your customers. You have something to offer there. You have something to give, right? You take care of yourself and then you can take care of others, okay? Or if you're a teacher, your students, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the certificates, what you think you might need, another one. Stop that. Right now, you always have something to give. And you need to look at your passion and your value, your whatever you have to give from you, who you are right now. There's always something you can give. And that's what counts. So you don't have to be perfect, right? You're just brilliant the way you are, okay? Because you are the way you are. Now, we're coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can relate to everything I said, and I really want you to take something away with you today. And I would like you, if you feel like it, to it's an exercise that I was taught a year ago or so. I was in a workshop and it was beautiful, actually, and it wasn't that easy at first, and it's a training for you to learn to be aware of your thoughts. And again, if you do that, I mean, I would like to ask you to do it now until tomorrow, if you may, or if you have time. But do that for 1 week, for example, every day before you go to bed or in the morning when you wake up or any time, 3 minutes a day, 2 times a day, like 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes in the evening, for example, and just be aware in those 3 minutes. You can set the timer and be aware in those 3 minutes of what you are actually thinking. Yeah. And be aware of each thought. And when you realize that it's something negative, you imagine being in this one of those restaurants, those sushi restaurants where the sushi plates go round and round and round in circles. And you imagine that the sushi plate in front of you is Margaret just joined. Hey, thank you for joining. So in this, on this sushi plate going around, you are choosing whether you want to take one, which is the positive thought, or whether you take it, acknowledge it, realize it's a negative thought or something that's not beneficial to you, and you put it back, or you just let it pass, right? And that picture, that vision alone, if you don't like sushi, you can do it with the train at a platform, standing at the platform and just letting the train pass. If it's a negative thought, let it pass. Once you're aware of that negative thought, you have the power to let it go. And that's what it's about. That's what the Dalai Lama said. He gets angry. He gets very, very angry, but he won't dwell on it. Let it go. Whatever it is that's causing negative emotions within you, let it go. I've been through a massive, massive heartbreak like 2.5 years ago. And it broke me. It was bad. It was really, really very bad. And people were astonished how quickly I recovered from that, how quickly I came to peace. And with this person who I love dearly, who betrayed me, who's married now, I was in peace very quickly afterwards because I didn't want to feel bad, because I have the awareness now how toxic it is to feel bad, to feel, like revenge, or feel spiteful, or to feel envious or whatever. That doesn't exist in my life anymore. I let things that make me feel negative, I let them go. Yes, I still get those negative thoughts. I do. But I have the tools now to let go of them quicker, right? And this exercise is a nice exercise for you to try if it works for you, okay? Right? So do that if you like until tomorrow, and then you can, report back to me if you wish how it goes for you. We're done for today, I believe. And tomorrow we're going to dive deeper into the power of the thought. I'm going to also show you more how you can take control and set intention, turning into something positive. Like Esther says, we can create a button as much as we can create a castle. Here we go. I hope that's in Ireland. It looks divine. So I hope you enjoyed today's masterclass. And tomorrow, like I said, we're going to dive deeper into the key to setting your intention and how to take action, right? So it's awareness, which we dealt with today, setting your intention on what you want, what goal you want, what vision you want, and how to take action. Yeah, how to actually put it into your reality, how to attract it into your reality, because it's all about also attracting something, right? And getting onto the high vibe, getting into the higher energy state by being in a positive mindset, right? Now, we're done for today. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for coming. Just going to, hold on. Didi, thank you. Going to go into the big screen again. Stop sharing. And here we are now. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you could take something away with you. Oh yeah, I never mentioned, I did in the beginning, but we never actually, print that out if you want, or just have it on your laptop. I explain the exercise one more time, and tomorrow then we deal with day 2 exercise. Okay, so thanks very much for joining. Appreciate your presence so much, really. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your honesty and for sharing all the information you shared. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful day or evening, wherever you are. Love you lots. Take care. Bye-bye.